hosting a show. Who you voting for? Daniel. Who you voting for? Daniel. I said, who is the man? Daniel. I said, who is the man? Daniel. Who the man with the plan? Daniel. Who the man with the plan? Daniel. Who you voting for? Daniel. So come election day, we say, we voting Daniel all the way. It's over 30 years he served. Daniel give to the area. He developed the community. Take care of our people, big need. Aye. St. Philip South massive. Yeah, Philip South massive. Are you ready to win? Are you ready to dance? Who you voting for? Daniel. Who you voting for? Daniel. I said, who is the man? Daniel. I said, who is the man? Daniel. Who the man with the plan? Daniel. Who the man with the plan? Daniel. Yes.
Now if you know, come on, you will see. The voting give priority. No talk about great health care. The help everyone without fear.
Good night. Good night to you wonderful UPP supporters. I want to welcome you here in the village of Freetown and the constituency of St. Philip South, a garrison constituency for the United Progressive Party. At one time, the constituency, not Freetown, because Freetown has always been in the corner of any opposition party that existed since history. But overall, the Labour Party regarded St. Philip South as a garrison constituency. We have turned this constituency around and have now caused it to be a UPP garrison constituency. Now I wish to say that this United Progressive Party, we started this crusade somewhere in 2002, and it culminated in 2004 when we formed the government. And we have delivered so many things. We have changed so many things. We have done so many things in this country. It would be rather ungrateful, after having accomplished so many things. Tonight, Dr. Court explained to you, from the cradle to the grave, we have been there. We have helped the babies, the young. We have nourished the orphan. We have been there for everybody, even those who are Labour Party supporters. And it seems to me that the only thing we probably might have to do to change any of those Labour Party supporters is to bring manna from heaven. And even Jesus Christ, when he was on earth, he did so many good things. He healed the sick. He cleansed the leper. He made the blind see, and he raised the dead. And they cried out, "Crucify him." And what we have done, we have changed the landscape of politics in this country. We have welled and brought the country united. All over the world, the name of Antigua was just like in the gutter. And our illustrious leader, Dr. the Honorable Baldwin Spencer, has demonstrated that he has the knowledge, the know-how, the capacity, the commitment, and the love for the people. And he is followed and he is embraced by all of us. those of us who have made the sacrifice to make Antigua a better place. And I want to say to you, I have been blamed a lot for assisting those who don't support us. I am not sorry because I grew up in a Christian home. My grandmother and my grandfather taught me that, look, do what the Bible says. Love one another. Be kind to one another. But sometimes, you know, God gets vexed with us. He promised you all sort of stuff. And then when he really can't take it no more, like the children of Israel, he parted the sea. And they were able to walk on dry land to the other side to get away from Pharaoh's chariots. And when they reached on the other side, and they were on their way to the promised land, just a little hard time hit them. And they started to quarrel with God and making golden image, cattle and all kind of stuff. And God got vexed. And Moses came down and took those laws that God wrote with his fingers. And he said, those who are on God's side, come this side. And those who are not on his side, go that side. And those generations was wiped out. I'm saying all that to say that don't mind what good you do. There are some people, even if you put food in their mouth, they will still bad play you. They will still betray you. And they will still plot to destroy you. But we are a godly organization. We believe that we were ushered into power by the Almighty. We had over 7 ministers in 2004 when all of us were anointed on the platform. And that anointment worked because we swept through. It was a landslide. What happened? We might have fallen away somewhat. And God spoke to us and said, look, you fall away. All right, let me draw away a few from you. But we have come back to understand that the source of our power is God himself. And so we return once again. 2 or 3 months ago, when we started revving up, me and many others became worried. We said, where are our supporters? Well, we got the answer on Monday on Labor Day. It is one of the biggest crowd I have ever seen at Fries Bay. And what that is saying to me is that what we are saying now we are explaining our accomplishment. Now we are showing the people all what we have done. The people has gotten an opportunity to think, and then they start to come back. Thank you for coming back. We welcome you, and we promise you that there will never be a time when we will lose the key of our brains and don't make sure that you, the people that put us in power, come first. I have done wonders for this constituency. In 1984, I presented myself as the candidate. In 1984, and from since 1984 to now, how much years is that? That's over 30 years. 30 unbroken years, I have not turned my back. All right, you don't see me a couple of times. Look, when I came up here, I was so handsome, young, strong, strapped in. Now I get old, and what the hell you want? Look in the face and all them. I have done the work. Drive around in this village and you see what I've done. Go down in St. Philip's and you'll see what I've done. And go down in Bethesda. Examine all those young men that I have empowered. You bring somebody here talking about he wants to take over. And what has Daniel done? I have no time to waste on them kind of people. I say you re-elect me on my performance. I say stand with the United Progressive Party and our performance. And those of you here in Freetown, some of you young people, we are watching you and we are watching to see how you're behaving. Because as the Minister of Tourism has indicated to you, Half Moon Bay will be open in a couple of years because there's tremendous erection of buildings that are going to go up there. So it's going to take quite some time to complete that project. And many of you up here, young people, the Labour Party was there. They caused the demise of Half Moon Bay. And we had to negotiate. We had to go all the way to the Privy Council to win the case in terms on the people's behalf. Yes, the court said that we must pay Ms. Karad, but at the same time, if we didn't pursue and go back the amount of money that the court awarded her, we were able to go back there and reduce the amount. And now we have a buyer. We have someone who's prepared to buy the property and also to create a tremendous edifice out there where you people of Freetown will be proud. But it's not your longer work there now. There's too much work going to be there. So people have to come from Bethesda, they have to come from St. Philip's, and they have to come from town and other parts of the country. And we are a government who believe that no constituency alone must dominate all the work. The work is for Antiguan people, but I want to say that Freetown people will come first. There are a couple of young fellas. Yeah. There are a couple of young fellas who are going around tearing down my posters. Now, when you come in the village, you see nearly 1 million of Western posters. I don't bother with posters. Because if Western have 1 million and I have 3, me so handsome, me completely dominate all that. You like that, no? Well, I want to say to you that we have now, the clinic that we had here was in a dilapidated state. It was not good enough for the residents here. And we decided to rent a clinic, a building, and we are putting the clinic there. It is there right now. In fact, when I came in, the doors of the clinic were still open. Now, let me tell you something. This government is a great government. We are extending the hours of the clinic from 8 in the morning until 9 in the night. So when poor ordinary people go to work, especially the young women, I always talk about women, because when you look around, you're nearly all the people that are women. But I want to say to you that when they go to work and they're tired and they come home, they're not on time, because sometimes when you left work and say, I have to go to doctor, the boss wants to get vexed. So we say, no, we have to look for the women and for the men too. And so we decided to open the clinics late. So when you come home at 5 o'clock, you can wend your way to the clinic and get attention. That is a great good that was done by the government. And brother, me explain to you about what we're doing for ordinary poor old people. Look at the pension. I mean, Antiguans, look. Let me hear the ambulance, because I've also brought an ambulance here. that would be responsible not only for Freetown, Bethesda and St. Phillips, but Willie Keys, Newfield, and so on. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Oh, I'm still at time. I want to leave enough time for the Prime Minister, but let me tell you this. When you look at us as a party and as a government, examine us. I was coming up there, and I looked at the picture of all the candidates to the Labour Party. The whole poster billboard is red and black. The depiction of the devil. And when you look at the blue posters, my goodness, I'm telling you, the women are beautiful and the men are handsome. But the fact of the matter is, you have now Mr. Gaston Brown untried. Baldwin Spencer have been tried twice, 10 years, and he's asking for another 5 years. And then he's on his way. And I'll be on my way too. But young people will take over. But we have to leave the foundation. We have to make sure that when we leave the scene, we leave a level playing field. So who take over can just continue. To continue. You have Assot. Mark Yono is a guy I don't hate. I would say that he's a semi-friend of mine. But he is not, he's very rude. When he drinks, he gets out of hand. Now, you can't be drinking and getting out of hand and being a minister. You have somebody else who intends to run the country. And because some fellas, some young fellas, who supported you before, said that, look, we don't think that we want to support you anymore. You're pulling gun on them, and you're going to be in charge? Look, Antiguans and Barbudans, understand this, that you have got to look at a government, a stable government, government ministers who won't be saying, look, so you pull your gun on me? Well, look, I'm going to take you out. We don't want them kind of ministers. If you're taking out your own colleague, you will take out people in the community. This is not where call Texas and that city. This is Antigua and Barbuda. This is a peaceful, loving country. This is a God-fearing country. This is a country who wish only good for his people. And want you to understand too that the Labour Party have their supporters. We don't have no problem with that. But we don't want no violence and we don't want no trouble. Every time we go somewhere, we go anywhere, they're crowding around, want to make fighting. We don't want that. Walk the other road like the Good Samaritan. Walk the other road. Them want violence and they want trouble because they see defeat staring them in the eyes. I want to say to all of you, keep the faith. Continue to support us. Trust us and believe in us because we are only the custodians of your government, but you are in charge. And you have to direct us as to what to do, what to say, and where to go. Because even though that we have our own plans, the plans must fit your book. We can't have plans and alienate you. You have to be a part of the plan. And so God has helped me to soldier on and to stay looking young. And I put on my tight jeans so that the young people will say, well, he looks like he's a part of us. I want to say to you, continue to support me. Continue to support the United Progressive Party. We have done so much for the country. If you turn back now, that will be a defeat for you. We will lose, that is true, but you will lose more. Keep the faith. Stay with us. God bless you. No retreat. No retreat. Good night and God bless you.